what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Lineage Break, a Grand Archive TCG podcast. I am your host, Cam. With me, as always, is Steven. Hi, Glue.
Cam.
How are you? Are you sticky today?
I am. It's actually very humid out.
That's fair.
My hair immediately frizzed, and I can't fix it. So
I love the Magic School Bus. I'm a big fan.
Me too. Awaken things.
Welcome to our Grand Archive TCG podcast. We are back. Thank you guys for being with us. We are back from our 50th episode special last week.
Thank you guys for joining us for that. That was awesome. All your questions were great.
And now we're back to the regular crap show that we make every week.
Yep.
I'm tired. Hi, tired. I'm dead.
Yeah. Well, you didn't even let me use the joke. You just took it from me.
I know. I gotta get out in front of it. It's been a busy week. Yesterday was 4th of July, so Steve and I had the day off, which is sick, but we instead chose to take that day off to
film content for you guys.
Do that. And we'll see how it turned out when I eventually edit it, but that took our whole day and was a whole production thing, so we are a little bit late today because we had to come in, reset up the podcast, do all of that nonsense. So, but we are back and ready to talk about some Grand Archive with you. Some newsy news. In other news, before we get to Grand Archive, because we don't have a whole lot to talk about, so no rush to talk about newsy news. A part of the reason why I'm so tired today,
oh God,
is I was up until 4 in the morning, something like that. Playing Zenless Zone Zero.
Yep.
Which I've probably played for, 10 hours, 12 hours.
It didn't just come out like 2 days ago?
It came out on Thursday, yeah. So. Dude, it's really good.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time. I pulled that shark girl. She is so hot.
Yeah.
She's a shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many of them do you have?
Just one. But that's like probably the worst thing that could happen to me is
you pull it early.
Yeah, I got it on my first 10 pull on the banner, which is like super lucky, but that is somehow worse because now I'm like, well, I already have one. How many more do I need?
I pulled the Lin Yin from Wuthering Waves in my first 10 pull. And then I never pulled another one, and I pulled a lot.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. So, yeah, that's been cool, but that's what I want to be doing right now. So we can just go home right now, and you can play Final Fantasy. And
I plan on it after the show's over.
I'll play Z. Are you leaving me after the show's over?
Well, who knows?
Not going to locals?
Who knows?
So we are sad to say this weekend is Anime Expo. We are not there.
Correct.
Seeing all of the lovely pictures from friends and look how fun it is.
Yeah, and then like, hey, look at all this beautiful SP2 product.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I've never actually been to Anime Expo.
Neither have I.
I would like to. It looks like a lot of fun. I haven't been to a convention in a long time. All of my traveling now is taken up by, GA, events, but I haven't been to an anime convention proper in at least a few years. And I do miss
anime convention or convention in general?
Both.
Because anime convention has probably been like 15 years for me.
Ooh.
Because I lied. I went to Dragon Con a couple of years ago.
Yeah, all of our local ones are pretty bad. So that hurts that I don't want to go to any of our local cons. And the best we can get is like Anime New York is pretty good, but it is pretty far.
Anime Boston's terrible. I would not go to Anime Boston.
Yeah. It sort of lost its...
The year that Anime Boston and PAX East were during the same weekend was the year that was the best, and subsequently got everything fun canceled.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the year that people were taking shuttles back and forth between the conventions, and a bunch of people from PAX came to the rave on Saturday night, and a bunch of people had to get taken out and brought to the hospital because they got messed up on Molly. And then
that sounds like fun.
Then
all the fun parts are gone. Yeah.
Well, the rave was fun, but not like people going to the hospital. But they canceled the rave after that.
Yeah, that's probably for the best. I'm with that decision, but
I like the raves.
yeah, you're a raver, you're a rave girl.
You don't like watching VAs perform music live because that's sick. Greg Iris is a DJ. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
No, I've never been.
He used to DJ.
Why are we here? What are we talking about?
We're talking about Grand Archive, but you started us down this road.
We went too far. we gotta take the first exit off of the road. So we're not at AX. A bunch of our friends are at AX, debuting SP2, all that fun stuff. But doesn't mean SP2 is in hand. We also since the time that we last saw you, we have seen all of the cards in SP2, which is cool. It's a really good set this time. I think it's like a lot stronger than SP1 was. Not like card playability wise or whatever, but I think all the art is really good. And I am excited to open product, which is not how I felt about the first one. So.
Yeah. Also, go back and watch our predictions video for the art for SP2. Lineage break 100% right.
We were pretty good. Yeah. I think we got almost all of them. The Serum of Wisdom, I don't know. I think we definitely talked about it, but I was 100% right on the Spell Shield Wind, and I'm very pumped for that. I am not. I think that card kind of sucks. There are some stinkers. I'm also upset that we were right about Mind Freeze, because that card kind of sucks too, and that art is really good. But also there is confirmation that there are box toppers in SP2, which are super cool. They are all of the tokens, I believe. I believe it's been confirmed that it's all of the tokens in the game, and they come regular token GA card back. But they have their art removed. They have no art. I also noticed that the illustrator at the bottom is removed. It like doesn't have whoever the original illustrator was. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I think it's just a blank space.
Yeah.
But so you can get all of your tokens to use as like artist proofs and stuff, which is super cool. So if you guys open any herbs, I'm gonna start hoarding them. I'm gonna be like Mitch, where he bought up all the doodle cards. I'm going to buy up all of the herbs. So don't throw your herbs away. Send them to me. In Chicago, I will be buying all of your herbs because that's the best place to do it. Something that's also really cool that I learned last night from our beloved Andy K on Discord is that the original spirits are also included. Yeah.
For the proxies?
Yeah, the blank.
That's
the
awesome,
blank cards.
actually.
So yeah, you can get Spirit of Water, Wind, Fire.
That's super
blank.
cool.
So, Aethne at home, you can get your own special spirit that is an official GA card back and everything, without spending $5,000.
Yeah, no, just $500 for a good art.
So that's pretty cool. I think those will probably be like pretty coveted. I wonder what the price is gonna settle at. Like probably pretty high. I know that the doodle cards for SP1, the price was really low. But I'm worried that is going to be not the case for these because there's, I believe, 18 box toppers.
Yeah.
And they are way more usable than all of the cursed tamer animals that were doodle cards in SP1.
I don't like playing with Shelly. It's no fun.
Yeah, she doesn't do anything. So I'm hoping I don't have to break the bank to buy all these herbs. I'm hoping because Cleric is so bad that people don't care about their herbs. I was saying before we started the show that, and if you're watching, shame on you, that somebody posted their CSR for sale from SP2. It was like a Carter or a Xander or something. And for their timestamp, they wrote on the fucking mana root, like in the box. And I was like, why? I mean, at worst, it's probably like, $3 card or something. Come on.
Right.
Come on. Why? Why do?
Don't hurt Kim's feelings.
Send to me instead. If it was like an Atmos shield or whatever, yeah, sure, I don't care. But the mana root, bro, it's a little tough. But yeah, I'm excited. We're gonna get a little bit of it from AX and then maybe pick up some in Chicago.
I'm also picking up a single SP.
Nice.
I have a friend that is going. And they were like, "Do you want one of these things?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll take one."
Yeah, get the promo. Promo's super cute. I saw somebody post a picture of the foil flame rune swordsman. Foil flame rune swordsman. That's a say that 10 times fast. Looks really good. So I'm also hoping those aren't going to be $1 million, but I'll at least pick up the non-foils, which are usually pretty cheap. I think the last AX promo is like $1 or something on TCG Player. So I don't think it'll be too bad. Huge event, right? And if everybody gets a promo just for like showing up, I don't know how they're giving them out. I don't know if it's like purchase incentives or just like play a demo. I don't know, but they're super cute. So we're very excited about the stuff from AX. But Chicago's right around the corner.
Chicago is right around the corner.
Jesus, 3 weeks?
Yeah,
4 weeks, somewhere around there. It's just under a month now. Recording on the 5th today, so it's like August 2nd, right? So that is our copium to get through the not being at the place where everybody is this weekend. We can look forward to seeing you guys in lovely Chicago, Illinois. Lovely. Sorry, Chicago natives.
Yeah.
Not
the greatest.
Not terrifically excited to be in Chicago, but I'm terrifically excited to see all of you Grand Archive people in Chicago coming up. So, SP aside, SP's great. We talked a whole lot a couple weeks ago about how great SP is, so we won't gush on that, but we will gush. We're the number one Grand Archive the gush simp podcast. And something that I did want to talk about that did come out this week is Weebs of the Shore put out a community letter, just sort of like unprompted. I'm not sure what made them decide to do it, but an unprompted letter addressing the community was put out. And before we talk about it, I figured it's pretty short, so I can give it a read for anyone who has not seen this letter. I believe they posted on Twitter. I don't know if it was posted anywhere else, probably on Discord, but I don't think I saw it. It might have just been posted on their X account. So if you missed it, Grand Archive put out this statement regarding game accessibility. Dear Grand Archive community, we acknowledge the price of Grand Archive cards has increased and as a result has impacted overall accessibility to the game. This is particularly true with cards from older sets, which have not been readily available through our distributors. As Grand Archive continues to grow, each new set release can drive up the demand for older cards that complement new strategies. Unfortunately, this coincides with the largest influx of new players we've ever seen, creating additional challenges. We are committed to ensuring that competitive Grand Archive remains accessible. To address these issues, we are enhancing our production capabilities to produce new sets while also releasing reprint waves of older products. This process will take some time, and we deeply appreciate the community's patience as we work on making reprints available. In the meantime, we've designed Mortal Ambition to be more beginner-friendly. This new set will serve as an excellent entry point for both stores and new players. It will include several reprints, such as Dungeon Guide, which should improve game accessibility in the near future. Thank you for your understanding and continued support. Sincerely, Weebs of the Shore.
Now, I think this is like an absolute slam dunk win. Yeah.
I put a post on Twitter like immediately after this came out. It was like something along the lines of, show me an example of any other game that is doing something this community focused and sort of like above and beyond. Like we said, there was not something that prompted this. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a TCG player or a TCG company, or probably any company at all ever, put out this sort of like letter to the community. You see these a lot in like response to something awful that's happened, right? It's like, we're so sorry.
Like I see like the D&D like next or whatever, where they're like, yeah, you're gonna have to pay for all this supplement stuff again. And you're like,
and they're like, we're sorry, we made a mistake.
We're sorry. Sorry.
And that is not the case. They just sort of were like, hey, we know prices are high. We wanted to let you know that we're working on it. Reprints are coming for everybody that's asked us, that's asked anybody on the internet. When's ALC alter? When's MRC alter? When's more GOA? Whatever.
Soon.
They're working on all of that. They're a small company, you know, so it's hard to find, and we've talked about this ad nauseum, so I won't, rehash it too much, but it's hard for them to find like time in their production schedule to make reprints because they're putting out sets pretty regularly, and so I would assume as we speak they're finishing up printing of Mortal Ambition and going to try to find some sort of window in the middle there to reprint some of the older sets, but they are actively working on it, and it's good to know that they're sort of ramping up their production so that hopefully we get to the point where they're big enough, right, where they have enough production space to be printing the new set in preparation for its release, alongside reprints of older sets, because I don't think the plan ever was for them to be as scarce as they are now. When DOA Alter came out, they put out like a big announcement that DOA Alter was going to be in print until 2025, I think, for like a few years after its release. And I assume that's the case with the rest of them as well once we get the Alter printing, but we've only had the one, right? So we don't have anything else to compare it to. But yeah, I think this is just an absolute win for the community. It has been confirmed that Dungeon Guide will be reprinted at its original rarity at rare
in the main set.
So you will be assumingly flush with Dungeon Guides. If you opened MRC product and you look at any non-regalia rare and you say, how many of these do I have? That is how many
you will have.
Dungeon Guides you will have, which is a lot, and I think that should drive the price point
back to zero.
Way, way, way down. Yeah, back in in the olden days.
Right.
Back in my day.
When you're selling Dungeon Guides for $5.
Yeah, they were like $8 or something, which is totally accessible.
Right.
But right now they're
$45.
$45.
Yeah, it's unheard of. Like for a rare, like I understand it's like a staple in most strategies, but like
it's tough. It's just you can't get the product, right?
That's true.
So the important thing here, which is maybe worth talking about, you guys love when we speculate, and that's all we do on this show, right? They say in this letter that there will be several reprints coming to Mortal Ambition. And so they've confirmed Dungeon Guide, and on Twitter they confirmed Zephyr as well. Zephyr new art, so we can also assume Dungeon Guide new art, which is actually really exciting.
Yeah.
For anyone who does not have promos. Maybe I sell my promos, get the new Dungeon Guides if they're cute.
It's a boy.
Maybe. They wouldn't do that,
No,
though.
they wouldn't. They know their audience.
That's how you don't drive the price down, right?
Yeah.
Like Dungeon Guide is still $45 when it has the cute girl on it, and then you get your boy Dungeon Guide for 8 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It still drives it down, right? You just buy the boy.
What?
Yeah. It's like my first ed brokers.
What?
You want the broker? My first ed
No.
brokers.
What? Why? Why would I?
Matt asked me for brokers the other day, and I was like, "Do you want first eds or alter?" And he's like, "What's the difference?" And I sent him the boys, and he was like, "I'd want the girls, please." And I was like,
of course.
That's
yeah.
fair.
Why wouldn't you, right?
It's not even a cute boy.
I the beholder, right? So several reprints coming to the set, and I assume that I don't know if this is going to be SRs. Do you think this is all going to be like lower rarity stuff?
I would hope. I think a lot of the issue with like getting cards is like scarcity of like the like commons, uncommons, rares, lots.
Right.
Like dream fairies and snow fairies like are pricey. Like I could see those getting reprinted.
I mean, it's a difficult line to walk, right? You don't want to be. So you want your game to be accessible, and they're very clear that they want the game to be accessible, and of course we all do, like we do as well, right? But as a player, you want to find that happy medium, right, where the game is accessible and you don't have to pay a bunch of money. And I hear people complain all the time about Grand Archive or any other game that they're like, oh my God, the cards are so expensive. I have to pay $80 a piece for my Academy guides, right? Which sucks. I get it. However, as someone who opened them, I am thrilled that they're worth $80, right? And so it's a hard line to walk where you still want people to want to open your product, and you don't want it to end up like FTC is the most accessible set there is. None of the cards in FTC are worth anything. There was like a hot minute where Gawain was like a few dollars, and then she immediately dropped back down because people started opening more FTC because we have so much of it.
Right.
So like that's not what you want, right? Because nobody wants to open FTC. If I like went out to our locals tonight and I polled people and I was like, all right, you have the option of any booster box that Grand Archive has ever released. 0 people would choose FTC to open because it's just not worth it. And so you want to strike that balance where cards are still expensive and they're still worth opening. You open an SR and it feels good. It's not like a $2 the bulk rare. But also that the game is accessible to the point where people aren't taking out a second mortgage to pay for their competitive deck, right?
Right. And like, I don't know. I can understand having like a premium. Like I can understand like, Academy Guide foils being $80. But I think, I don't know. I think like a regular non-foil SR should probably be around like the $30, $40 mark.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that the CSRs do help make it like worth opening product as long as the CSRs are chaseable. But that only really helps at a large scale.
Right.
Right. It feels bad if you're like a more casual player and you're like, I will open a single booster box. And if none of the SRs are worth anything and you don't open a CSR, you're just like, I spent $100 on nothing. So it is a hard balance to strike. But that is, I think, the point of contention. I think that is the only one that I would maybe put on the list. Do you think that Academy Guide is due for a reprint in that manner?
Well, we haven't even gotten ALC Alter yet, correct?
Right.
So, like, I don't know if they reprint Academy Guide into Mortal Ambitions when we haven't even gotten the Alter for it yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's like a tough spot to be, right? Because like the other one that would come to mind would be Carter. Do you like reprint Carter in Mortal Ambitions?
Right.
Because that card is also, or I don't know about now, but it was like $100.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that dropped down because
Diana's not great right now.
Diana's not being played at the moment, but like,
Yeah, I think it's an interesting balance to find, and I wonder how they're going to handle it.
Right.
Because the two cards that we've seen are obviously DOA cards, right? And like you said, it makes the most sense to reprint cards from DOA because it's gotten both of its full-fledged releases.
Right.
But as far as like release date timing, DOA isn't that far from ALC. ALC is fairly far removed from Mortal Ambition, like, 8-9 months or something, right? But yeah, I think it depends on how quickly they get production up and running and if they think that's going to be a problem. And it's hard to know how they feel about it, and that's the hard that's the what makes it hard to predict. So we don't know if they think Academy Guide is too expensive. Because there's a world where that's not, right? Like that they want their staple SRs to be worth money, and I don't think that that's unreasonable for your staple SRs to be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, but I don't know. For me, it's like, is Sadie,
Right.
who is
$50.
she's a $50 card. She's
Yeah.
very powerful.
Yeah.
Is that effect worse than Academy Guide?
No, but it's newer,
Yeah,
right?
I
I
understand
think
that.
Sadie will be an $80 card. Academy Guide when she came out was $30.
Mm-hmm.
But we're far removed from that now, and so the price goes up as time,
Mm-hmm.
churns forward. So like I wouldn't be surprised if 9 months from now Sadie is a $80 card, should their print runs not change. But it's hard to find a middle ground.
Yeah.
I think if we look at the print runs, I think DOA Alter and First Ed combined are about the same size as modern sets. Like I think there is as much ALC as there is DOA holistically, including Kickstarter and Alter. So theoretically, all of the cards should be equal in price, depending on playability. So I don't know what happens if you like print ALC Alter and you print as much as you did for the original ALC release. What does that make Academy Guide? It doubles in supply.
Mm-hmm.
And so does that drop it down to a $40 card? And then if that's true, that's pretty healthy, right? Or does that drop that down to a $10 card? And then that feels really bad for all of the early adopters. Feels better for the new people, of course, but it feels bad for the early adopters. And you please one portion of the community and you hurt the other, right?
Yeah, I think it's always a hard time balancing your secondary market because
Right.
you want people to stay in the game because their cards are worth money, but it's easier to onboard people when your staples are a little bit more accessible.
Right.
So it's hard to grow the community and also keep the community happy, right?
Yeah.
So
it feels like an impossible conundrum.
I think so far Weebs of the Shore has done a very good job at doing it.
Yeah. I think they definitely have their finger on the pulse, and that's good. But like you said, it is very hard to strike that balance. We see that even here, like at our local events. When I buy a new set, I squirrel away a couple of cases to use as prize support because I know that we'll sell out of booster products on the shelf. And so now we're at the point where I can't sell anybody MRC, but I have just a little bit, and we're almost out, but just a little bit that I use for prize support at our local events. But since booster products are so scarce, that's like a real driving point for people to come and get boosters of the new set. I think we talked about this on the show. I don't remember, but I was having a conversation with one of our GA locals a couple weeks ago, and he was buying Flesh and Blood product, and was like pretty unhappy with his opening experience because Flesh and Blood is a big enough game now where if you don't open the chase card, your CSR equivalent or whatever, you kind of get hosed because like most of the staple cards, even though like good ones, at most like the best one in the set, it's like $10, $12, something like that. You're not going to open this $80 Academy Guide and make your entire box back. But that is a symptom of your game getting larger, right? Like supply is available. I can still sell the current Flesh and Blood set. I still have plenty available because there's enough of it to sate the demand, right? Your supply and demand, whatever, if you went to school for marketing. And so that's something that I think people have to reconcile. And I think it's always tough. It happens to every game as they grow. They get to a point where they get too big to do the sort of like first edition exclusive low print run sort of stuff, right? Like that's happened to Flesh and Blood. We saw it happen to Pokemon, eons ago, right? Where eventually I think they'll have to move away from this like split print run, limited release, because that's really good to drive sales for them. But once they don't need to drive sales and they sort of have that natural desire for the product, I think it'll be easier for them to just print more of it. But that does mean that all of the prices will come down. Look at any modern game, even like Magic, which is huge. And the only way that they ever have cards, like single cards that are worth money, is if they're old, they're broken, like categorically broken. Like Shieldred. Or they create artificial scarcity. Right? You look at like Modern Horizons 3, and all those cards are a shitload of money because they charged 6 times the amount of a normal booster product for no reason. And they produced a quarter of it. Because they just decided these cards are going to be worth money because they're scumbags, right? But like, I don't see Weebs doing that. They're not going to put out a quadruple the price new booster set that they print a quarter of just so that they can, fucking milk people for everything they're worth.
Right.
And so I think once you get big enough, you're just going to lose that sort of liquidity of staple cards. Or not liquidity per se, but like high price point.
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see how they settle.
Right.
The game is growing very well, and I think that this statement is indicative of that, which is great.
Yeah.
But it does mean there is going to be some additional growing pains. We haven't reached our safe space yet. There's still going to be some growing pains.
We definitely still have some swelling issues.
Right.
But it's good to see that at least the company recognizes it.
Right. Yeah, they've always been very vocal, and I know it's not a realistic hope, but I hope that even as the game grows and we really do like truly have faith in the game's growth and the game's longevity, that they stay as like down to earth and connected to the community as they are now. But
I understand that might not happen because, you know,
it's very difficult.
It becomes hard, right?
Yeah.
But I think that the developers are unlike most developers because they are just gamers like us. So like, it's a very interesting thing to see.
But even now, you know, you see it a little bit, or at least I feel like I see it, that they've sort of pulled away from
just a bit.
Yeah, from, you know, the public eye. Like, you don't see the shit posts as often in Discord, and you know, a lot of the developers, like Silidar aside, are pretty silent on social media and you know, communicating, because it's hard to be that public facing.
Right.
You know, I talked to them about it a while ago, and it's tough to, like you said, they're like us, and you know, they're friends of ours, right? But they when you're so entrenched in the community and you're so like down on the ground floor, it feels like you're a friend to everybody, right? Which is great. It's cool that it feels like you're playing a game with you know, that your friends made or whatever. But that means that people treat you different, right? Like there's a certain like lack of respect and a certain lack of like boundaries that you have between you and the people that
they
create the game, right?
Regular people expect to have like ask you a question and expect an answer from you.
Yeah, they just like at you on Discord, right? Which becomes tough as your game gets bigger. That's fine when there's a couple hundred people that are playing it, or you know, however many people kickstarted
when there's
the game.
A couple thousand people adding you, it's tough.
Yeah, I don't even know what main chord's at now, but it's very big. Yeah, last I checked. So you know, it does become tough. So you guys, you know, give these guys a break. They're just normal people. Don't be DMing them or whatever. do as I say, not as I do, because obviously I bother them all the time. But yeah, but we are all in all very, very happy with the letter that they put out. We think it is just a terrific forward-facing thing to do. And the Dungeon Guide reprint is insane. Yeah, it's so good.
It's very good for the game. I was talking to a friend who has shown interest in the game. But then when I was like, well, you need 4 of these $40 cards to play pretty much any deck, he was like, I don't think I want to play that game.
Right.
And I was like, all right, well,
what are you going to do, right?
Yep. I'm always saying, you know, at least for locals, we're very proxy friendly. Mm-hmm. The game is very print and play friendly. So, like, that's a thing. And, you know, it's still not enough to drive some people to want to play.
Yeah. I mean, I know so many people that, you know, maybe foolishly so, that want to play the real cards, don't want to spend the money, but don't want a proxy, which is like, you know, their prerogative. Right. More power to you. But like, once you get somebody that's in that sort of situation, right, there's just no helping them. Right. And you just can't come up with a solution where like, well, you can proxy it. Well, I don't want to play with fake cards. It's like, well, you can buy it. Well, that's too much money.
Yeah. Like, I mean, we have one of our community members has a bunch of the cards, but he still just prints proxies and plays proxy decks every week.
Right, it's easier than moving stuff around, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's great.
But yeah, that's not a permanent solution.
Right.
Right, and especially that's another thing that we probably lose as the game gets bigger. Right, is that sort of, it's easier for me to like, I don't know what the word is, police that sort of thing when our locals are pretty small, but like once they get much larger, it's much harder for me to allow that sort of thing, and you know, so.
Right.
Yeah, but we're very happy. We're happy Dungeon Guide is hopefully going to be $5-10. But something that I say to my locals, and I'll say to you just like you are my locals, every time a new set comes out, buy product. Support your LGS, support Weebs. They do all of their printing based on demand. And the demand that they get is from people like me that put in the orders with the distributor. So if you want fucking product, tell somebody about it. I know that's hard. I know it's difficult for people to see a thing. It's hard for me to see a thing 3 months from now and be like, today I'm going to pay for that thing 3 months from now because I want it. But then, you know, release date comes around and you haven't pre-ordered your product, and you walk into your store and you're like, hey, I'll take a case, please.
And you're like, sorry, they're gone.
And then the guy behind the counter, me, reaches across the counter, strangles you to death, goes to jail.
Yeah.
You don't want to put me in jail, do you? So yeah, pre-order some product.
Yeah, if you want product, pre-order it.
Especially now that Dungeon Guide's going to be reprinted, you know.
Right. I will be selling playsets for $20 to new players.
Yeah.
Every day.
But like you said about moving cards around and proxies and stuff. I long ago got rid of all of my extra Dungeon Guides because there's so much money. It'll be nice to have extra sets of Dungeon Guides just kicking around that I can slot into a deck. Oh, let me grab a set of Dungeon Guides out of my bulk. You know, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Because that's what I used to do.
Yeah.
You used to thumb through the collection and be like, oh, I need another set of Dungeon Guides. I think I have like 12 in here. Yeah. You know, pull them out. Cool.
Yeah. And then we built a community.
Right.
And they all needed Dungeon Guides.
And I'm the town bicycle, and they all thumb through my stuff, you know. So Steve and I sold all of our extras. That's what you do. But now we're in the future. So, Steven, what do we think's getting reprinted? Dungeon Guide,
Zephyr. I could see a world, Creative Shock, maybe Increasing Danger.
So yeah, I think more on I think about like Favorable Winds is a good example that was reprinted in MRC. It's like not necessarily a price issue. I think there are at rare and lower, not a whole lot of cards that have a price issue.
Correct.
I think it's basically just Dungeon Guide, and then like you said, like some of the fairies are a few dollars, Zephyr is a few dollars, but like your $5 card is like not that big a deal. Right. Your $45 card is a pretty big deal. But I wonder, if they want this set to be like beginner friendly and a good starting off point. So I think that you're right on the money that we'll probably see cards like Creative Shock. Creative Shock fits very well in the Mage set as well.
Yep. Yeah, like Increasing Danger, I think like some of the cards that like I know that like we have a supply issue of Clumsy maybe.
Yeah, sure. Hasty Messenger.
Hasties, yeah.
Stuff like this, yeah.
Yeah, things that we have seen over the year of us playing, where our bulk has been completely picked clean of them.
Right.
Like I think I have one extra Dungeon guy or one extra Academy guy or Hasty Messenger. That's the card.
Yeah.
One. I think I have one, and I think I opened it recently.
Sure. Yeah. I think the fairies are a good shout. Hopefully those get a reprint. I think those fit pretty well. We have to like sort of put things in our mind where we don't actually know very much about the set as of right now. So, like a lot of the advanced element cards are off the table because we don't know what advanced element stuff is coming out. And obviously right now it's just a warrior mage set. So we assume that they'll be targeted in that way, but it's possible since it supports all 8 classes.
Maybe some Terra cards.
Maybe
like Terrasite.
Terrasite would be a good reprint, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it costs them much. Right, like to just put something like Terrasite, assuming that it's going to have some ubiquity when Kongming comes out. Right. But that's the biggest assumption of all assumptions.
It's our speculation.
Right.
Because it is a mage spell.
Right. It's a good one, too. Yeah. All the sites are pretty good, so. And they've all... Basically all of them have seen play in their advanced element that is playable, right? Like, obviously, like, Terrasite didn't see play, but that's because Terra Sylvie was unplayable forever, and now it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Neosite, I don't think sees play.
But it's the same thing, right? Like, not these heavy Neos decks really existing.
But, if you want to see Terrasite do some cool stuff, maybe check out our video next week.
Neosite.
What did I say?
Terrasite.
Yeah, Neosite. If you want to see Neosite do some cool stuff, check out our video next week.
It's pretty good. Next week? What the? I hope. I don't know. I'm gonna try to edit that video. It's gonna be a lot. Yeah, I think that'd be a good shout. I'm hopeful that a couple of weeks from now we have a set in Chicago, and please, it has to be
spoiler season.
Well, like not even really, right? But like they have to show us some stuff, you know?
Yeah, give us Kongming level 3.
Yeah, just like let me see some heroes. When did we see Tristan? It was before spoiler season, right? That we saw Tristan's like text.
Yes, but we had no idea what Ominous Shadows were.
Right, but like we at least had her text, you know. We didn't know about the other level 3, but we got her text.
Yeah, we didn't know about Reaper until
I just want to know. Let me know, dude. So I'm hopeful. August, and then 4 weeks later is September, and 4 weeks after that is the set.
Mm-hmm.
Like 8 weeks out. Do you think we get to see something? Maybe.
Maybe at Chicago.
Just a morsel, please.
Just a little
Please, just a little bit, please. I hope so. I think it's way more reasonable that we see them at like Singapore will be the start of spoiler season, right? It's like 2 weeks before the set comes out.
Yeah. Oof.
I'm ready, dude. I'm ready to move on.
I love how we always
wins, cool, whatever.
We always get to this part, right? Like, or like a month and a half into this season, you're like, I really wish we had Mortal Ambitions already.
Yeah.
It's just like,
listen, I don't want to be a doomer, all right, but I'm gonna be a doomer.
Cam just doesn't like the fact that Assassin is good right now.
It's true. So you can take yin and yang, right? And I think we've had a very positive episode of the show so far today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can be a little bit negative. Is that okay?
I suppose.
So a little bit
where's
negative.
Your box? Where's the soapbox? Let me get it.
I'm sitting on it. I love GA. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I love it more than any trading card game I think I've ever played.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe aside from, first falling in love with Magic was a big deal. Because that's why I'm here. But listen, dude. There has been basically no time in my life of Grand Archive where a deck that I want to play is good. And that just like feels bad, Like we're in a new meta and there's lots of new cool things, and I'm not saying that the game's not cool and there's not cool decks to play. But I don't like any of them. It's not what I want. And so I just want to have a deck that I like,
I just want to have a meta where Crux isn't good.
Yeah. Well,
not gonna happen.
They're pretty good. Yeah. Well, Merlin's pretty good. Fireball's pretty good.
Drawing 2 cards 7 times in your turn is still pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah,
I cast Ghost of Pendragon.
I just want to play something I like.
I cast Ghost of Pendragon.
We have a buddy who plays Diana. He's like a Diana diehard, which is great, or even someone you guys may know who is a Wind Crux Lorraine diehard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And both of these people have been complaining this season about how their deck's not good. Oh my God, I can't play my deck. It's not good. One of which the deck has been categorically broken for a year. And yes, right now it's not like super favored in the meta. And Diana, who last season had a very successful season, my deck's not that good anymore. I want to be that. I can't be that.
Well, it's unfortunate because you put all your horse in one champion, and that one champion unfortunately
but like
isn't
not
playable.
even that. Like I want to play mage, but like I think the only way to play mage is Arcane Rye, and that is just like a whole different pot of soup. It's like saying that you want to play assassin, and this was true for a long time, but the only playable way to play assassin was Luxem Xander.
Oh,
and that's not assassin. It's a whole different thing, So like playing Fire Arcane Rye, like sure, is a mage deck, but it's not like it's not a mage deck. It's a Rye Arcane deck, I want to play mage. I want to play cleric. Just want them to be fine. I want to like take the deck that I love so much, I've spent so much money on, and like not feel like the expected outcome is that I go 0-3.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoo, shit, I went 1-2. I want to be like, woo, on average, I'm going to like 2-1. I'm probably not going to win the tournament, but my deck's okay.
Right.
Like, that's all I want, man.
Yeah.
That sucks. So anyways, I'm excited for Mortal Ambition.
So
Please,
anyways,
give me something to play.
Cam's going to spend all his money on Kong Ming CSRs, and she's going to be unplayable.
I don't know if I've said it on camera, but I feel personally attacked in regards to Arisana. I feel personally attacked. And I hopefully they're at AX, so they're not watching this, but I hope that you developers They're not pulling a fast one on me again. They're going to make this hero shit. And then I'm going to just end it all. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. She'll be great. I promise. I promise she'll be great. All right, that's it. That was my
All right.
Well,
Well,
my doomer for the week.
please print a proxy. Just please print a proxy as well
Help
card
me.
that makes Arisana tier 2.
I feel so bad every week. Everyone's open these SP2s, Steven. There's so many cool fucking new arts with Arisana on it. They want me to buy those.
I'm gonna just slide those serum potions or whatever into my Luxem Xander deck.
Do you want me to spend $50 on foil Comet Falls? To go 0-3 every week?
Yeah. Well, good thing is
Stop it.
those foil Comet Falls are probably like $20.
I wish. All right, that's all we got. It was a positive episode, I promise. Go watch the rest of it if you're just tuning in now. We were very positive for a long time.
But Cam needs to get his Arisana rant about, every 2 weeks.
Help me. I don't want to play Assassin.
Just make potions then. Do potions.
Yes.
Get better with potions.
It's not good. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We will not be here next week.
Correct.
Steven's away.
I'm away next week, so we are on an off week. But you can find this episode, if you missed it, next week, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Woo! That is true. And you can find us live every week, Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Asterisk. Not next week. We will not be here next week.
Correct.
But we will be here the week after that, which is...
Yeah.
When? I think my flashlight's on.
It's the 19th. We'll be back on the 19th.
We'll be back on the 19th. I'm looking at our schedule. We'll be back on the 19th. We'll be back on the 26th. And then the week after that, we'll be in glorious Illinois. Eating all those deep dish pizzas and hot dogs. Is that a...
I think that's a New York thing.
No, like with the hot dogs with like the cheese whiz on them. Isn't that a Chicago thing?
I have no idea.
Who here's from Chicago? Bob, where are you? Hot dogs with cheese whiz or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
We're gonna do Chicago things or whatever.
We're gonna get hot dogs for lunch today.
Yeah?
Is there a hot dog place near us?
No, not a good one.
Oh.
There's that hot. It's called Hot Doogie, and it's in Framingham. It's like a Brazilian hot dog place. I don't think it's great though.
Yeah. There's a Hot Dog Ann's, but that's like
I want a fucking Coney Island hot dog.
dude. Oh my.
Mustard, no ketchup. Says Andy.
That's the appropriate way to eat.
Yeah, isn't that just how normal people eat hot dogs?
Yeah. Ketchup is gross.
I'm on mustard, chili. Done.
Yep.
That's it.
Well,
Onions.
I was gonna
We'll
say
take some chopped onions.
if we're talking about like a coney,
Oh yeah,
give me the works.
yeah. Up,
Yep.
as they say.
Yep.
I'll take 5 up,
Yep.
please. You want to go to Coney Island right now? We don't have time.
We don't.
We
have time.
don't want to drive your got that far.
Correct.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you not next week, 2 weeks from now.
Correct.
You gotta
Woo.
woo.
Have a good time, guys.
Have a good time, guys.
I don't know, man.